Let's go right to Toronto Police Headquarters, where Deputy Chief Robert Johnson is providing an update at shots being fired at a Jewish school last weekend.
On behalf of Chief Demkew and the Toronto Police Service, I am pleased to announce the arrest of 2 individuals in the connection with the incident at Bais Chaya Mushka Elementary School on Saturday, October the 12th. At around 4 a.m., police were alerted to a smashed window at the school. Upon arrival, officers discovered evidence of gunfire, determining that shots were fired from a vehicle on Chesswood Drive, striking a window. Fortunately, no one was inside and there were no injuries. This is the second incident at the school, and it occurred on Yom Kippur, a sacred day for the Jewish community, making this even more devastating. The safety of our communities remains our top priority, particularly as global tensions rise and the Jewish community observes the high holidays. Since this incident, our Integrated Gun and Gang Task Force, led by Inspector Paul Krawchuk, supported by the Hate Crime Unit, led by Inspector Roger DeRoche, have been working tirelessly to identify those responsible. Our Forensic Identification Services, in collaboration with the Centre for Forensic Sciences and the Ministry of the Solicitor General, played a critical role in this investigation. Their meticulous examination of the evidence was key in identifying and charging the 2 individuals. Both males face multiple charges, including unauthorized possession of a loaded firearm, a Glock handgun modified to be fully automatic. The male youth, whose identity is protected under the Youth Criminal Justice Act, faces additional charges for failing to comply with a release order. The name of the adult male and the full list of charges are available in the news release on our website. While I can't share the details on the motivation behind this incident due to the ongoing investigation, we are thoroughly exploring why this incident occurred and any connections to the previous shooting that occurred at this same school on May the 25th of this year. The safety of the Jewish community and all communities in Toronto remains our top priority. Our increased police presence will continue as long as is necessary. Thank you, and I will take a few questions.
Sorry, can you clarify, they are not linked to the 2 shootings? Are you still working on that?
We're still working on that, Phil.
Just clarify, is this considered a hate crime?
So while we're not sure right now what the motivation is, I can assure you that if we find evidence, motivation that this is motivated by hate, we will explore the aggravating nature of this with our partners in the Ministry of the Attorney General while it proceeds through a court process.
And I know, just following up with Bill's question, has there been any information that you gathered so far that may link these 2 separate incidents?
Well, obviously the address. That's alarming, but right now there's nothing that I'm able to comment on linking the 2.
What about in terms of safety for these schools, these students? What do you say to them?
Well, you'll know in this latest incident, as well as other occurrences that have occurred throughout the city, we've increased our presence at these facilities. The day of and certainly for days after, we've relocated a command post there and made sure that there was a physical presence of police officers there. And we are in constant communication with the administrators of those schools, as well as parents and various groups to help alleviate their concerns and assure them and all Torontonians that the Toronto Police will be with them during these tragic incidences.
Chief, obviously ongoing investigation, but can you give us a little something? Was it tips from the public? Was it the school obviously had video cameras? Can you give us something of how you led to the arrest?
Well, it's a combination of all those things, but what I really want to highlight is the integrated nature of not only our various units within this service, but also our partners, in the ministry, specifically the Centre for Forensic Sciences. We are sometimes criticized for not being, responsive in the first instance, but I can tell you these occurrences, we gather the evidence and we act on them, and it takes a coordinated effort that involves a whole bunch of people, and sometimes even our partners and other law enforcement agencies locally and nationally.
Deputy, just to clarify, the youth, you said, was the youth out on bail or something else?
Well, the youth, we're alleging that he failed to comply with a release order. I'm not prepared to talk about specifically what those are at this point.
Just to clarify, was it both suspects who fired shots at the school?
So we don't know that.
Any other outstanding suspects?
The investigation is still ongoing. We have some further examination of physical evidence that needs to be conducted before we can say definitively.
And have you identified any potential suspects in the other incident?
Again, that's an ongoing investigation, and we're hopeful that we're able to conclude that soon.
One more question?
Can you speak to the rise of these types of incidents we've seen in the community since October 7th? Just how concerning. It's an institution. Granted, no one was there when this happened, but just how concerning this is.
Well, it's very concerning, and this is making folks in our city feel unsafe. I can tell you, since October 7th, we've arrested 167 people and laid about 411 charges, and so this is something that is problematic. This rise since October 7th is something that we had not anticipated or planned for, and it is a problem. You'll hear Chief Demke talk about this every month during board meeting, and it's something that we want to highlight, that we are concerned, as well as a number of communities in our city. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This now concludes our conference, and a press release will
You've been listening live to Toronto Police's Deputy Chief Robert Johnson. They're providing an update on a shooting at a school. This is Bais Chaya Mushka, a Jewish day school in North York. This is a girls' elementary school. Police responded to shots being fired at the school there last Saturday. And now we heard from the Deputy Police Chief that 2 people have now been arrested and charged. It sounds like one of them is a man. A second could be a teenage boy. We know it's a youth, so let's say a male youth, have been charged in connection to this firearm discharge. We're told they're facing multiple charges, including a Glock handgun that was recovered, that was also modified, potentially used in this shooting. Police are not, though, prepared at this point, at least the deputy chief was not, to say that this is a hate crime, saying that that's still part of the investigation. Police are looking into the motive, and they're also trying to find out if there is a connection between the shooting that happened on Yom Kippur last Saturday and shots being fired at that same school back in May.